Hello and welcome to this week's video update from Ardley Green Learning Federation. It's been lovely to welcome so many of our reception parents into school this week, as together we've looked at the importance of reading. We've shared with the parents our approach to teaching reading in early years and explained how that reading is so crucial to the child's development as they go forward on their learning journey throughout the Federation. And one of the things that Mrs. Folser highlighted was the link, if you like, between reading and writing. We also suggested that we believe here at Ardley Green, if you are a successful reader, then you will be a successful learner. A very simple truth. But in the spirit of the meeting this morning, as we shared with the reception parents the start of the reading journey, thought today what we do is to just focus in on some writing and some reading at the same time, so some children further up the school. So I'm really proud to introduce some children from our Year 5 class who have been reading The Tales of Peter Rabbit, an amazing series and collection of books. And then they've been turning their reading into some really creative writing of their own. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, sit back and enjoy. Bye.
Peter and Benjamin going into Mr. McGregor's garden. Unsurprisingly, Benjamin and I ascended up the tall log pile. When we reached the roof, we looked down into the terrifying Mr. McGregor Jr.'s garden. It was a perfect opportunity. As careful as a world-class gymnast, Benjamin and I cautiously made our way across the slim, thin washing line. Unfortunately, Benjamin, who was very self-conscious and out of shape, let go of the old rusty washing line. All of a sudden, we fall straight into Mr. McGregor Jr.'s smelly trousers. His face was as red as an apple. His fingers clicked. Benjamin grabbed onto my blue denim jacket. Everything wasn't going to plan. As frightened as a timid mouse, Benjamin and I sped as rapid as a cheetah. Wildly, Mr. McGregor Jr. swung his powerful rake at us, but luckily we dodged. At that moment, I eventually realised Mr. McGregor was just as deadly as his granddad, who is Mr. McGregor. Whilst Benjamin and I were dashing through all of his delicious vegetable patches, Mr. McGregor Jr., who was very determined to kill us. Right in front of my eyes, I could see that the door to the shed was slightly open. So Benjamin and I sprinted into the shed.
The unexpected visitors to Mr. McGregor's garden. Dear Diary, sneakily, Benjamin and I creeped as quietly as we could to Mr. McGregor's garden. We climbed on the roof and saw his garden, especially the mouth-watering vegetables. Mr. McGregor was nowhere to be seen, so we hopped off the roof and scampered on the thin washing line, but suddenly Benjamin lost his balance. With a loud scream, Benjamin and I fell into Mr. McGregor's brown patterned trousers and slithered down the trouser legs onto the green, perfectly cut grass. Suddenly, Mr. McGregor came from nowhere and grappled the trousers with all his force. Then his face was as red as a tomato. He started charging us as fast as the speed of light. Petrifyingly, the mad Mr. McGregor chased us as fast as the wind around his delicious vegetable patch. I narrowly escaped getting demolished by his stingy rake. I realised that Mr. McGregor wasn't playing games, and maybe Benjamin and I will become a rabbit pie today. While we were running, we found a crooked shed and saw that there was a little bit space to go in. When we were in the shed, we hid under a plant pot and hesitated while panting. As we took shelter to the brown shed, we tried to catch our breath again under the plant pots, which was rough and dusty inside. Benjamin and I shivered in fear as Mr. McGregor said that when he found a scoundrel, he will kill them and put them in a pie. We tried to trick him, but he picked up the pot.
Peter and Benjamin helped themselves. Dear Diary, as quiet as a mouse, Benjamin and I sneakily got on top of the tall log pile like ninjas. We looked into Mr. McGregor's garden and we saw with our own 2 eyes victory. I decided to tell Benjamin to climb across the thin, small washing line. Like special magicians, we climbed on the washing line, but Benjamin lost balance and then Benjamin and I fell into the blue fresh denim jeans. Breathing as loud as a whale, we came through the blue jeans as sneaky as a fox. Mr. McGregor came out from nowhere as a flash, ripping the trousers and howling like a wolf. His face was going to squeeze like a tomato, and Benjamin Bunny stood still like a statue. After going out the denim trousers, Mr. McGregor ripped the trousers down so he could come and put us into a pie. Just like my father, I made a loud gulp sound and Mr. McGregor tried to hit us with his shiny metal rake at the speed of light. Benjamin and I saw the shed so we can be safe. We hid in the shed, which was dark and quiet, so we hid at the very dark area and we couldn't see each other. All of a sudden, Mr. McGregor banged the door that the door broke. I quickly ran through Mr. McGregor's legs and out the shed, but oh no. Benjamin was under a pot, but he escaped. Sadly, Benjamin got captured, but I escaped.